Welcome to the Growth Spurt, our weekly AI podcast brought to you by the Second Baptist Church of Ann Arbor. And we're diving deep today, really getting into a message by Dr. Stephen J. Daniels, Sr. His sermon, Just Say the Word.
I like that.
It's powerful, right? And it's on the Second Baptist Church's YouTube channel if anyone wants to check it out.
Yeah.
But we're looking at this portion between like 1.07.53 and 2.000.39 roughly, just to, give everyone a time frame.
Mm-hmm.
And what we really want to do today is unpack some of those key insights about, how we as believers, how we communicate our faith.
Right.
And we're pulling this, of course, straight from the transcript of the YouTube video.
That's right.
So just laying all that out there.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that really struck me right off the bat was how Dr. Daniels, he starts by emphasizing just how much power there is in words.
Yeah. I mean, as someone who's always been fascinated by people who can just use language masterfully, that really resonated with me. It's like almost a sense of responsibility, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Especially when you think about his role as a preacher.
Right.
To use words in a way that uplifts people, that inspires them.
Yeah, trying to,
to live better lives.
to change lives. Yeah.
Yeah.
And to kind of really bring this home, he uses some, personal stories.
Okay.
Which I love because it's just so relatable,
Yeah.
He talks about his mother, who he calls like a disciplinarian conversationalist.
Oh, wow.
I mean, she could like give you a whole sermon in the middle of correcting you, it sounds like.
Yeah, not the type.
And then his father, the opposite,
Right.
a man of few words, but
when he spoke.
oh, it mattered.
Yeah.
And, it really hit home for me when he talks about like those negative words that stick with you from like forever ago,
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just how powerful, those words can be.
Right.
I mean, I still remember things that were said to me years ago, and they linger.
It's like they're etched
In there.
in your brain.
Yeah.
But then he flips it and he brings up this idea of speaking life. Did you catch that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That really resonated with me.
Pulling straight from Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21.
Yes. Life and death are in the power of the tongue.
Powerful stuff.
It's like, oh, wow, we have to be mindful of what we're saying because it really does have an impact.
Absolutely.
We need to choose to build people up, not tear them down.
Right. To speak life.
Yes, to speak life. And, it ties in so well with what he talks about next, about, the church's weekly corporate affirmation.
Right. Every Sunday.
Yeah.
Around 10.05, 10.10.
There you go.
I mean, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
A whole community coming together to speak these intentions out loud.
To declare them, right. What do you think? Is there something powerful about that?
Well, I think it's about, more than just the words themselves.
Yeah.
It's about, shaping a mindset.
Right, like a collective. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reinforcing their aspirations, over and over again.
Exactly. It's like planting seeds, but through language.
Absolutely.
And, this idea of spoken faith really takes center stage when he moves into that story from Luke.
Oh, yeah, the Roman officer.
Yes.
Powerful story.
Luke chapter 7, verses 1 through 10.
Just in case anyone wants to, follow along.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So we have this Roman officer, and he's got a servant.
A slave, actually.
A slave, okay, who's really sick.
Yeah, suffering quite a bit.
Yeah.
And, this officer, even though he's Roman, not Jewish,
Right.
he's heard about Jesus' healing power,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't hesitate.
No.
He's like, I need to reach out.
Right.
But what's interesting is how he goes about it,
Yeah, he sends these Jewish elders,
Yeah.
like respected figures in the community, to go talk to Jesus for him.
And we learned that this officer, he actually had a synagogue built for them.
Oh, wow.
So clearly, a man of good standing,
Right, he's well respected.
respected, influential.
So what does that tell us about his faith?
Well, for one, I think it shows that he recognized Jesus' authority
Okay.
and his power,
Mm-hmm.
but it also shows a certain cultural awareness.
Oh, interesting.
He's not just barging in, he's using the proper channels.
Right, working within the system. Yeah.
It's a smart move.
It is. It's strategic.
But then the story takes this really interesting turn.
Oh, yeah, with the second set of messengers?
Right.
Tell me about that.
So he sends these friends to Jesus with a message.
Okay.
And he's basically like, tell Jesus not to trouble himself to come to my house.
Right, he's like, I'm not worthy.
I'm not worthy of such an honor, he says.
Not even worthy to come meet you.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then he drops this incredible line, just say the word from where you are and my servant will be healed.
Oh, Oh, man, chills.
Amazing, right?
Yeah.
This unwavering confidence.
Yeah. It is. It's like, where does that come from?
That's the question Dr. Daniels wants us to grapple with.
And what is it?
Well, he points out, this officer, he hadn't personally witnessed Jesus's miracles.
Right.
He's going on, what he's heard.
Yeah.
But his confidence stems from his own understanding of authority.
Okay, because he's a military man.
Right, exactly.
He knows how it works.
He knows that when he gives a command, it's obeyed.
Whether it's to his soldiers or, his servants.
Yeah, no questions asked.
It gets done.
And he's applying that same logic to Jesus.
Right. It's like this ultimate
It's
authority.
a powerful analogy, don't you think?
It is. It's really sticking with me.
So you can imagine what Jesus' reaction is to this.
Tell me.
The Bible says Jesus was astonished,
Oh, wow.
marveled at his faith.
So the officer was right
He was.
to have that much faith.
And guess what?
What?
At that very moment, the slave was healed.
From a distance.
From a distance.
It's incredible.
So given all that, what do you think are the big takeaways Dr. Daniels wants us to apply to our own lives?
Okay, well, the first one that jumps out at me is we have to actually speak our faith.
Right, not just think it or feel it.
Yeah, we have to be willing to say it out loud.
To declare what we believe God can do.
Right, for ourselves and for others.
And that leads to the next point,
What's that?
the officer's humility.
Oh, right, how he acknowledged his unworthiness.
Yeah, he didn't even feel worthy for Jesus to enter his home.
But at the same time, he had this incredible confidence.
It's beautiful tension, isn't it?
It is.
Between humility and boldness.
Yeah, so I guess true faith isn't about how good we are,
No.
but about recognizing how great God is.
Exactly, trusting in his power.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the third point,
Okay.
declaring Jesus' power with absolute assurance.
What the officer did, yeah.
He knew, without a doubt, that Jesus could heal his servant from miles away.
Because he understood Jesus' authority.
And he wasn't afraid to say it.
To confidently declare it.
Yes, to speak it with authority.
So how do we get that kind of faith? The speak the word kind of faith.
Well, Dr. Daniel says it starts with knowing who Jesus is.
Really knowing him, yeah.
Not just knowing about him,
Mm-hmm.
but have that personal relationship.
Yeah, understanding his character, his power.
Yeah, trusting in his promises.
Right, and then from that place,
Then you can speak faith into any situation.
even when you can't see how it's going to work out,
Because you're walking by faith, not by sight.
it's powerful stuff.
And, Dr. Daniels leaves us with this really thought-provoking question.
Oh, tell me.
What was it about this Roman officer that so amazed Jesus?
A guy who, hadn't even met Jesus in person.
Right. It's like his faith transcended experience
It was based on something deeper.
on a true understanding of who Jesus is.
So the question for us is, what kind of faith do we have?
Would it amaze Jesus?
I mean, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
What am I speaking into my life? Into the lives of those around me?
And is it grounded in a deep knowledge of Jesus?
Wow. Okay.
It's a challenge, isn't it?
It's a good challenge.
To really examine our faith, to see if it's the kind that moves mountains.
Because words have power,
They too.
especially when they're spoken with faith.
And that's really what Dr. Daniels is calling us to do.
To speak life, to speak faith, to speak the word,
And to do it with confidence, with humility.
and with a deep understanding of who Jesus is.
Absolutely.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into Just Say the Word.
I hope everyone got something out of it.
Me too. It's
Yeah.
really given me a lot to think about.
Yeah, same here.
So go in peace, be blessed, and may the joy of Jesus be yours. We'll see you next week.